And we are live. Welcome to Rice TVX and the latest episode of the Rice Crypto Show. Today is the 26th of November in the year 2021. And this is Crypto Rewind. Today I'm joined by my co-host Satoshi Sean, and our guest today is the Public Awakening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin today's live stream, a few quick messages from the sponsors of Rice TVX. And you can find information for BitSwap DEX from Monarch and pre-search below in the video description.
BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap will get you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.com.
And we are currently live streaming on both Rice TVX and Rice TVX2, both on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to both channels. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, I've got to do a real quick sponsored segment, and let me go ahead and pull up the information real quick. I thought I had everything set up and ready to go, but it looks like I'm slacking just a little bit here. So today's sponsored segment is about DeFi Yield Protocol. You can find information on them at dyp.finance. And I did a video review on them about a month ago, and it is going to be linked down below. So make sure you're checking out this review that I did of the DeFi Yield Protocol called the Essential Decentralized Finance Platform. You can find a lot more information, in-depth review with that. What I wanted to let people know is that the DeFi Yield Protocol is a unique platform that offers solutions for yield farming, staking, NFTs, and enabling users to leverage the advanced trading tools of DYP. The DYP made history in the DeFi space by becoming the first and only protocol to reward users in Ethereum. The core feature of the DYP is a decentralized tool dashboard. It provides advanced features such as decentralized score, unique community trust vote system, DYP locker, yield farm data, and launchpad, allowing investors to make informed decisions to maximize yields and reduce risk. Bear with me one second. I think I have Sean muted, and I just want to make sure Sean was unmuted just so in case he's there. So the other thing I want to let people know is that this altcoin itself has had some huge gains. It is a really good altcoin, has lots of upside. It's trading on one of my favorite exchanges, KuCoin. Plus, it's available on Hotbit, Gate.io, Uniswap, Pangolin, and PancakeSwap. New smart contracts with improved strategies for farming, staking, and buyback that are available for the users from Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Avalanche. And if you look at their website, according to their stats that are provided by Chainlink, which is an Oracle service, so far to their members, they paid out in liquidity providing over 9,000 Ethereum. Sean, I'm going to go ahead and mute you real quick because there's a lot of background noise. Can you mute yourself for me? You don't mind? Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so we have over 9,031 Ethereum paid out, 7,956 Binance BNB, and 15,816 AVAX Avalanche worth. The total is worth $43,160,790 that have been paid out to liquidity providers. They have, regarding their new pools from Binance Smart Chain, as of this moment, it's over 37 million have been deposited into these pools in less than 48 hours after the launch occurred. You can look at version 2 with their new smart contracts, the buyback, the farm, the stake, and the referral under Earn V2. And Earn V1 would be everything that I talked about on that video that I did a month ago, the DeFi Yield Protocol DYP review that I definitely encourage you to check it out. So I do appreciate DYP for supporting the channel for the sponsored segment. And today I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Satoshi Sean. What's going on, my friend?
Hello. How are you and how's everybody doing?
I think everything's all right, man. I think everything's going right. Got a crazy weekend of stuff I got to do to catch up. And
Me
get
too.
a
I have a
little bit
lot
ahead.
to catch up. Yeah.
Well, it's because I'm going back out to Miami Tuesday for
I do love that
Decentral.
Miami.
Yeah, and then I'm going to St. Petersburg, which we'll talk about here in a minute. At the Litecoin Lisa meetup around the 17th.
St. Petersburg, Russia or Florida?
Florida.
Okay.
We're outside of Tampa, and then supposed to be going back to Miami in January for the North American Bitcoin Conference, and then I'm going back to Miami in April for Bitcoin 2022 and Shitcoin 2022. And then I think I'll be in Texas in June in Austin for Consensus.
I live there.
You lived?
I live in Texas.
Yeah, I know you live in Texas. You don't live in
Yeah,
Austin.
yeah.
How far are you from Austin?
Austin, 40 minutes.
Okay, that's not bad.
Well, no, like, a lot longer than that. We all consider the suburbs Austin. So when you say to Austin, everyone does suburb time. Austin's like an hour.
Word. Well, I definitely am going to encourage people to make sure that they're subscribing over at your YouTube channel. It's linked down
So
below.
close to 20.
We'd like to get, I'd like to get you up
19.9 today.
19.9, so you're less than 100 away.
Yeah.
So if you're not subscribed over to Satoshi Sean's channel, go over and subscribe. Help him get over 20,000 subscribers. That would be great. And we're going to bring in our guest today, Mr. Account Suspended. This guy is every single social media account he has somehow just gets taken away from him. He's such a bad boy. I don't think the government likes him.
Well, they like him.
Have you done a show with him before?
No. In fact, I've never met him before in my life. I don't know who he is.
I can't remember. I mean, have you seriously done a show with him or not?
No, I seriously have never done a show with him.
Okay, well, because me and you do shows. You do shows with Lisa. Me and Lisa do shows, and he does a show with Lisa.
Yeah, I know.
So there's.
I like him and his personality and other stuff. I think he's a cool guy.
He's a funny dude.
What's up, guys? Good morning,
dude?
Good evening, and good night.
Mr. Account Suspended.
I am Mr. Account Suspended for sure.
I was trying to tag you earlier, and it wouldn't let me. And then I saw your name, and it let me tag you. And then I went to go pull up your account, and it was like Account Suspended.
Yeah.
But I also have your Telegram information down below in the video description too.
Cool. Yeah, thank you. That's one of the only ones that works. I have a Telegram that works, and I have my original personal Facebook that I've never posted anything controversial on. That's
crazy.
Working, so yeah, I know. It is. It's
crazy how shit works.
I am very popular with them, I guess. Who knows? I'm certainly looked at.
Either this is you posting and here. Are there two of yous?
No, that's me.
I know. I'm just being a smart ass.
No, sometimes there is.
Mr. X Les, appreciate you tuning in. Ronnie, thank you. Down to Moto. Andy Lee, thanks for joining. Gulag G. Satoshi Sean's commenting as well. Look at that. You guys are like using all kinds of skills, man.
We're pumping up this thing. I got my phone in my hand going at the same time. Look at me. We did do a show once. I think, Sean, you and I did a show with Rice and who was it? Was it both guys from Eric and both guys from Consent of the Governed? I think
okay, so we did. Okay, so yeah, I thought we had done something, but I wasn't 100%.
Maybe we did, but I didn't know who you were. That was literally the first time.
Yeah.
So it's not.
It doesn't count.
So it doesn't count. Yeah, first one doesn't count.
I was meeting you, so I didn't. I didn't do a show with you. I was a show meeting you. It's a very different thing.
You just made a lot of guys straight out there who were questionable before. If the first time doesn't count,
that's Sean's philosophy.
Yeah, that time in college don't count.
It always devolves into gay jokes, man. It always does.
You know what? It is what it is.
It just happens, man. Just one of those
gay jokes and poop jokes. Did you watch Lisa when she did it? She was like, "I hate potty humor," and she kept trying to not like tell fart and poop jokes, but she kept doing it like just accidentally. It was fun. It was so hilarious.
Was this today?
It was
was
like
it,
2 days
last week?
ago. Yeah, her last when she did her the Illinois meetup.
Okay.
Yeah, it was funny, man. You should watch that part. It was really hilarious.
Did you go to that, Jason?
No, I didn't go.
But you are going to St. Petersburg?
Definitely going to Florida, yeah.
Or Florida?
I had to choose, basically.
It's not St. Petersburg, man.
Yeah, it's St. Petersburg.
No,
St.
it's
Petersburg
not.
is St. Pete's. It's the Hangar nightclub in St. Pete's.
The Hangar nightclub.
In an airport.
It's Saint something else. It's not Petersburg.
Yes, it is.
St. Petersburg.
Dude, that's in Russia.
Okay, you're being funny now.
We're all gonna wear like the hats and do the thing where we bounce around.
Okay.
No, but for real though, I think is it ClintWestwood.com?
ClintWestwood.net. And the link is on the top.
But then it's not pulling up for whatever reason.
ClintWestwood.net?
Yeah. It's saying that this site was the connection, something about the connection.
Oh, great. Did they take him down too? Here, let me see. I just happen to have a link open to his here.
Because I was going to pull up the
I got it up on mine.
WESTWOOD.net. Let me try to put a www in front of it and see if that.
Clint Westwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His fake name.
There you go.
Clint. Yeah, it's not pulling up. What's the date on it? It's the 17th and 18th?
Yeah, December 17th and 18th, St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg, Florida.
Yep. Yeah, definitely not going to Russia on that one.
Florida.
Yeah, St. Petersburg, Florida.
That's what we said.
No, you guys are saying something different.
Yeah. No, we didn't say St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg?
You probably said St. Petersburg.
Or St. Peanutburg. But yeah, it's like 30 minutes away from Tampa because I want to try to get Stan Barabbas lives out in Tampa, so I want to try to get him to come out. I'm supposed to ride with Paulie P. Yeah, supposedly 30 to 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Supposed to ride with Paulie P, and there's a chance that Eric Sullivan's going to drive or ride with us in some capacity.
That's cool.
So we're still trying to talk Sean into going, but he's dealing with his ornery children.
I had to choose. That's why I couldn't get out to the Illinois meetup, to the Westwood meetup out there. The last one I kind of had to choose,
Yeah,
can't go to them all.
And you've been to a couple out there.
Yeah, I've been to a few. I think I've been to two or three of the Westwood ones.
Is there any chance that you're going to be able to go, or are you just going to keep saying yes and not go? Sean,
I believe you were supposed to go to New Jersey and then didn't show up, so I wouldn't be chastising this young man when you have done that.
Burns. There was some stuff that happened on my end, and everybody else was very fully aware of it. And I've done a lot of traveling. I've gone outside of my house a lot of times.
I went outside my house, and my son almost died from food poisoning. So you shut up.
Well, quit feeding your fucking kids.
Then they'll die from not eating.
There you go. At least
you'll
be in control of their destiny.
You could spread it out a couple weeks at a time and then plump them up again, and then let them go a couple weeks and then plump them up again.
I don't think he got food poisoning. I think he's allergic to raw shellfish. Nice. Because I ate 11 of them and they were fine. He ate the 12th one and almost died.
I guess we're putting people to sleep. It's really boring content. Well, we try to keep this thing to about the hour mark, so we'll just kind of jump into it. This was kind of an interesting story. I'm not sure where the echo is at.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 million Shiba Inu users can't be wrong, can they? Can they? Can they? Can
I don't know. There was a lot of Nazis, and they were all pretty wrong.
I just keep hearing echoes.
I hear it too.
It's Sean.
I don't hear
Sean doesn't like to wear headphones.
I don't hear echoes. There's no echoes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
There's
an echo. All right,
let me check my mic.
We have 1 million Shiba Inu users. Can't be wrong, can I? So with over 1 million token holders, Shiba Inu looks set for great things ahead despite trading more than 50% below its all-time highs. There, the echo just went away.
Yep.
What was that?
There's no echo, man.
There was an echo. You turned your.
I swear I
mic
didn't do it.
down.
There's no
Why
echo.
don't you use headphones?
Do you use
Check it.
headphones?
Yeah, I got one right here.
Oh, I don't know.
stick
I
one-
have
I stick
noise
one-
canceling. I have an echo cancellation on my.
That's what. That's
microphone.
what they say they're supposed to do, but it doesn't cancel out echo, especially when it's right by your speaker.
Cover you right now. So,
Yeah. So what do we think about Shiba Inu? I mean, right now it's still trading 50% below its all-time highs, but people just keep still like.
I think it's
buying
a
into it.
meme coin
Mhm.
that is here to stay, and I think it's going to try and be more than that. And I think it's going to. I think it might take over Doge, honestly, because Doge is like Doge is your slacker, slacker member of the family that just has no ambition, but is cool and fun to hang out with. And this is like a pothead, slacker party member of the family that they actually have some ambition and want to do something.
Well, I mean, I would disagree with you with what you're saying about Doge. I would have said that maybe a year ago, but since Elon got on the Doge rocket, and then named his dog
Built the Doge rocket.
Floki, just between all that, man, like that revived the Dogecoin Foundation, and the Dogecoin Foundation has Vitalik Buterin as a part of it, and also this representative that I think is the CEO of Neuralink that works with and for Elon Musk.
There were a lot of cool people. What are they doing?
They just got the foundation together. They're working on apparently an Ethereum to Doge bridge. There's other things going to be happening. In a sense, with Shiba Inu, I don't think Shiba Inu came out with the idea of like, we're going to build blah, 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 blah. I feel like they've had some success, and because of it, they have to do something.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like they were like a meme coin, like a joke. They blew up, and they're like, hey, you know what? We got this giant ass community. We have all this momentum. We have everything that's going on. So they're gonna move forward and build on it. And I think Doge is more just your slacker, cousin.
What do you think about Jason? What are your thoughts on 1 million Shiba holders?
That's a pretty big deal for something not that long ago we were all considered was a joke. I mean, right when Doge first kind of came onto the scene and started to get popular, everybody I know, including myself, kind of wrote it off as it's a joke coin. It's a meme coin. It's got no use case. It started as a joke. It's never going to go anywhere, and then it kind of took a really nice run up once the crowd kind of, I guess you would say, got into it. I did notice though that the original jump up that Doge took and then settled back down to the 50% of the high. That's kind of like what we got now with Shiba. So they seem to be following a similar looking chart.
A meme pattern?
Yeah, I guess that we have a meme pattern now. Right? Maybe. I mean, it's got a similar looking chart kind of so far.
Well, so my thought concept is starting to change a little bit on this. I mean, I'm seeing a crap ton of meme coin projects, whether it's an Inu token, a Floki token, or some sort of combination thereof.
There's 9 Shiba tokens now, though. That's gonna. Yeah, I see that as doing some kind of damage to the community 9 Shiba, where somebody goes in.
Inus.
Right,
and Rice, you told me, because we both looked at this one project. And you said, man, it's just another Inu meme coin. And it wasn't. I almost wrote it off. You almost wrote it off. And it was a really good, that game, Shiro Inu. It's a beautiful game. It's a cool game. The DeFi aspects of it are really neat. I really liked the project. And I didn't want to give it a second look just because of the Inu. So I think it's actually creating the wrong effect. Because you're not getting hype and like, oh, Inu, and let's look at it. It's like, another freaking Inu.
What's up, Blind Dave?
Blind Dave, what's going on? Mr. Ulfang, great to see you guys. Hankowitz is in the house.
Yeah, good seeing everybody.
Yeah.
Ripple effect. Thanks, guys, for showing up.
I mean,
really freaked me out with that comment, but then I figured it out.
I agree with what you're saying, Sean, but the other thing that I'm really liking about this whole movement is when we think about like us against the central banking system and what and how the the fractional reserve banking works within that, and how it's a debt-based system. If somebody can change their life and get ahead of the game because of investing in a meme coin, more power to them. Now, but at the same time, I want to tell people, make sure that you're doing your own research on these projects.
Right.
You know, not just buying something because it sounds cool. Like, look and see that there's something to it, because I've been covering a couple meme projects on sponsored videos, and I'm making sure that they're not just fly-by-night projects.
Yeah, that's my point. I think that now, when projects come out and they throw the Inu on there, it's actually a turnoff, and people don't even give it the look. They don't even check it out, because they just lump it in with everything. It could be completely different. It could not be that one.
Well, with that being said,
is not it's not a meme coin.
So
It's
do
a
you think
game
that
token.
and
It's a cool game. And I dismissed it as soon as I was asked to look at it. I was like, eh.
But do you think they would have been more effective not going with a meme idea, not going with an Eno, and just creating Shiruyu or Shiryo?
Yeah, because I said that in the beginning of my video. I said, I don't like the name. This should have stood on its own. I dismissed it as soon as I saw the Inu. And you did too. You told me, oh man, another Inu. And I was like, we both were like, all right, we'll take a look at it. But yeah, I think it's having the opposite effect. It's like an oversaturation of
it's following trends
of Shiba.
So because Doge did good, Shiba did good, Floki started doing good. Now it's like, well, everybody wants to start, and unfortunately, when you have all these projects coming out, they're coming out after the hype, after like what you're saying, in a sense that mainstream damage has been done by just overusing it. So I don't get why somebody would think that they're going to be a company would capitalize using the Inu name or a Floki name when it could potentially turn off a great deal of people.
Yeah, I mean, it's good at first, like for maybe the first 6 months, but I think we're getting to territory now where it's that oversaturation of it, and I think they need to rebrand.
Who is it turning off, though? You know, is it's turning off? I would guess the more seasoned crypto people, but a lot of the newer people just jumping in on the meme rage and all that.
Yeah, but I think those newer people
but
now,
not everyone's going to perform like Shiba did.
But I think the new people coming in are also, they're being hit by like 20 Inus when they don't know about crypto already. That's enough to be like, I don't know what the hell's going on. You know, it's confusing enough to where you have a pack of Inus, you know, running around, Inu puppies running around your feet.
The pack of emus.
Emus.
How many people do you think are buying the wrong Shiba or the wrong whatever when they're thinking they want the original Shiba Inu, and they could be buying Shiba Ono or Inu Shiba or whatever?
It's probably happening a lot. I mean, that argument
that's a turnoff to the newbies, though, right?
What Sean was saying to me about all the Inus and all this, it kind of also reminds me a little bit of like 2018 when you had Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV. It starts to be confusing to the brand. I think
the difference, though, on that is that at that time, it was a little bit more difficult to get into crypto, whereas now you're not going to have these little shit Inus on crypto.com. And these
but you're going to have Shiba on Coinbase. I think Robinhood's going to be adding it if they haven't already.
Adding what?
Shiba.
Yeah,
Shiba
the original
trading Shiba Inu.
Yeah, but I'm talking, those aren't going to have shit in use. So when those people are coming, the newbies are coming onto the mainstream onboard, like Coinbase.
Right, you're not going to find.
They're not going to have to choose between 7 Inus. So I don't think it's as confusing as the Bitcoin Cash thing was, because that was really confusing for a lot of people then. Because it was there wasn't a lot of onboarding things at that time, and they pretty much all had the Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin. But I think with the Inus, the only thing on these big platforms is the original.
I think that's a good point. My first crypto mistake was sending Bitcoin Cash to a Bitcoin wallet. That's my first one. I lost, I don't know, 5 or 6 Bitcoin Cash.
I made a lot of mistakes, but my first sending mistake was sending Tether to a USDC address on Coinbase when Coinbase didn't carry Tether. But when they added Tether, it magically was there. which is cool. Next piece of news I was going to move on to, and this is from a New York Post, and there's another article kind of combined with this, but this is from Decentraland. Did this happen? Yeah, it was in Decentraland. So there was a plot of digital land in the metaverse that sold for $2.43 million. A lot of people are talking about real estate in the metaverse being another opportunity to try to have some life-changing money opportunities by investing in these metaverse projects early. And even Grayscale, one of the enemies of cryptocurrency that plays the game in the cryptocurrency, says the metaverse ecosystem could be worth $1 trillion soon. And we've seen the cryptocurrency market cap hitting $3 trillion. So for the metaverse being worth $1 trillion alone is crazy.
This early on.
Crazy to think about. That's a third. That would be like adding a quarter of the market cap if we added $1 trillion, and a quarter of that, $4 trillion, would be specifically in the metaverse.
And it being this early on in the development of it, I mean, this is.
Well, some of them are. Like Decentraland has been out for a couple of years now. About a year and a half, I think, about the time frame. But yeah, I mean, they're all, a lot of these are still building.
I mean, well, the metaverse in general, this is really ground floor, just starting out
for blockchain. These things
3-4 years from now,
right? But gaming has metaverses already.
You know,
like your Fortnite has metaverse. So metaverses existed. They just didn't exist in a blockchain web 3.0 format.
But I think that's the real. How do I put this? I think that it wasn't a real metaverse. It was more like a mini-verse. And blockchain has created the possibility to have everything coming together and to be like a true metaverse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would love to see that. What you just said would be great. And you would think that any metaverse project shouldn't have a token and be interoperable with pretty much everything. But everybody's
or it should be like it's like going to a different country.
I don't see Axie Infinity right now connecting up with Decentraland. It'd be great if there was a way for the universes, the verses to connect. But there would obviously have to be a lot more interoperability and cross-chain stuff being done within the space before I think we could even.
I think that's all coming, and this is what fuels that. I mean, we were on a blockchain roundtable. We were talking about that. How there's so many things that developers just say, "I really can't do that." When what they mean to say is it's really hard to do that. It's really expensive to do that. So they put it off and they go a different route. But if the market really pushes that and it's like, hey, we have to do this now to be relevant, then they get it done and it becomes the norm. And I think that this is the stuff that's going to drive that development for interoperability. I think if you're going to different places, you could still use their money, but it's like going to a different country and having to use their money there.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I think this is, I mean, when you think about all the money that's being made just for people that are being smart with the right investments, the right moves, between the meme coins, between your Doge and your Shibas and your Flokies, your metaverse, it's like there is so much the NFTs, there has been so many opportunities to change people's lives. It's really crazy. I mean, if you can look at it from a couple different perspectives. You could be like, oh, this is a scam. People are just making up money out of nowhere. That is what the central banking system does, especially after we got out the fiat standard, got off the gold standard and went straight fiat in 71 under Richard Nixon with the Nixon shock. Our money has no value. So, and the whole entire system is designed to keep people poor. It's not meant like it's a
debt note, man.
Right. Well, the longer you save money, the more purchasing power you lose. People want to save money, but as you save money, you're losing value of the money that you're saving when you could have bought more before you put it in the bank. Could have bought more with your money.
Crazy thing.
These kind of things, though, they give people that
exactly
opportunity.
What you're saying, word for word, and it was like the mayor of Miami that was saying it, and because he was explaining it to like a news person who was interviewing him, and they're like, "Why do you want Bitcoin?" And he said that people want, he's like, because he said, I come from Cuba, and the money is always high there with inflation, and really it's the value of your money going down, and people just want to know that if they put their money and they hold it, that they're not losing their money or that purchasing power every day. And that's something that Bitcoin does, is that it fluctuates, but that it's not just going one way.
Plus, we have so many more people these days who are
fiat money. It just goes one way.
Yeah, we have so many more people these days, Sean, who are I think aware of this stuff. Right? We didn't have this percent of the population before cryptos and before all this stuff started coming on, educating people about how you're actually getting kicked in the teeth. Every time you put your hard-earned value, your stored value, your money into the bank. Yeah.
The gold and silver people would, but they didn't have the hype that the crypto people have, because it's like crypto is more of the future, whereas like precious metals have been. Yep.
I've always heard 3 to 4% of the population were gold
also,
and silver.
like you said,
it just wasn't reaching anybody.
Up.
Right.
People are getting more. I was talking to a girl this week.
A girl
who said to me, because she was asking me about crypto, and she was like, I heard that there's a limited supply, and that's what gives it value. And I was like, yeah. She said, yeah, it's not like how they can just print, dollars, and it's just supposedly backed by the gold.
Yeah, people think that.
What?
This is we talked. This is yeah.
And then I told her about Nixon and all that, and she's like, I feel like I'm an idiot because I didn't know that. She goes, I'm mad at my school though, really. And I was like,
what was the last? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
What was the last percentage of people that I just read something just recently? They said 20+% of the people in this country now at least know what cryptos are, heard of them, have some experience with them now, or something like this. A year ago, it was the gold and silver crowd equal. It was 3-5% at best, a year or two ago. So to go up from, let's call it, 5% maybe a year ago to 20 to 25% now of the people around here at least know what it is. And when I first got into this in 2017, I would talk about Bitcoin, and still up until literally like a year or a year and a half ago, nobody, one in 30 people would say, yeah, I think I heard of it. Now it's like everybody's on it, which is,
I think the pandemic really, really helped that though.
Yeah.
When the stimulus checks went out and people were like, wait a minute, you just can print money up and give it to people.
And it seems to have
Why do we
no
have to give you our money for taxes? Why can't you just print money for the taxes? It was like just a little peek behind the curtain, and it really woke people up.
Yeah,
how the system works.
It did, but then they had to shake up the world. I mean, now we got the South African banana variant.
In one of the lowest
crap going on.
In one of the lowest jabbed countries in the world, right? They're at like Uncle Cliff said something like 2-3% of the country has been stabbed. So how is that happening?
Yeah, so be careful with certain things too.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that because we're talking about money and not that whole thing. I didn't want to open that can of worms. But I think that when it comes to the economic system, people saw what they're doing, and they're like, wait a minute. If it's so easy for you to just make this crap up, then why do you take mine when I go work for it?
Work hard, yeah. Because people are giving away.
They're working you just gave me as much as I make.
3 to 4 months a year, people are working for the government.
Yeah. And I don't have a state tax in Texas. I can't imagine people that have fucking state tax. That's psychotic.
There we go.
I literally cannot imagine that.
7% here in Jersey.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the next topic, I was trying to find something from Uncle Cliff. Didn't Cliff say something, Jason, about calling the Metaverse the Matrix?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. The Metaverse is, I certainly believe that. I was going to bring that up too. When I was reading this virtual space thing and how the Metaverse is going to interact on the article.
So we need people building good platforms that aren't sucking you into like another world that you're not going to want to participate in the real world.
Well, this is what the Minority Report was, right? Remember that movie?
I know, but you can't really just kind of like, you really can't stop certain things. The only thing you can do
Right.
is try to add the other element to bring that correct duality, so that if there are metaverse platforms that are designed to want you to hate reality and just live in these virtual situations, there are going to be platforms that aren't going to be that way, and we need to support those platforms. I don't really think that we're going to be able to get away from any of these things unless we just like straight go Mad Max.
I never understood. We had VR like early on, and I think it was PSVR, and my Asian son was overusing it, and there was this game where you were in a cubicle, and you like did work in a cubicle, and you made coffee, and that was the game.
Sim City, was that it?
And no, it was like, I think it was called Cubicle or something. But it was, I was like, what are you doing? Oh, it's cool, man. Look, you sit in this cubicle and you can do this, and I can move this, and I can do this, work on the computer. I make coffee, and look, I'm going to drink this coffee. And I'm like, why would you do that? I would play the one where like you're killing zombies, because you're not going to do that. But that is just reality.
Right. You don't want to play a game where you're
It's a shitty reality. It's not even, you go to virtual reality for something different. So I think in creating a metaverse, just because you're to like make your own life a little better, I think it's better to focus on making your life a little better. I think the cool stuff in the metaverse would be like walking on Mars, or walking underwater and breathing.
Or just like going to the Sphinx, but not actually being in Egypt.
Yeah, but not just making
like
your house clean and not clean it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, but there's another move, Surrogate. That was another one. People's lives, I mean, you're just going to end up just having this sad, pathetic life and this is most people, the sad, pathetic life where you wake up, you go to work, it's some job you hate, you come home to a marriage that you probably are having problems with, probably some shitty kids that love you and you love them, but they're still shitty.
Why? Why does that have to happen?
I don't know why it has to happen, but it just seems like that is a normal thing for people to hate their lives.
I give you the job, fine.
Just for people to hate their lives. Just for people to hate their lives. So you exit. And then you think about all the in the past, like all these guys who like let's use World of Warcraft, for example. All the basement World of Warcrafters, the dudes who don't leave their basements, live at home with their mom, and have no social life. There are guys like I think my girl calls them CISs, like CIS. These guys who are like complaining,
like neutral,
complaining that women don't like them and that they can't get a girlfriend, but yet they sit in their basement making themselves unappealing to an actual female in the first place. And those individuals are going to want to live in that virtual reality. The person who doesn't have the money to go to college to improve their life and is working as a waiter, and that's their job, and they don't have a lot of money to go out and spend to go socialize. Virtual reality is going to give them a different life, and it will be like a Matrix type situation. We already have this artificial reality created in our natural world, and then we're going to create subsections of alternate realities within our alternate reality. It's mind-blowing. So, but I don't want to spend too much time on that, so we don't have to.
Why they gotta be living in their mom's basement? We don't have basements in Texas. Did you know that?
They don't have basements in Texas?
We don't have basements in Texas. We don't have basements. We don't have a lot of two-story houses.
That's weird.
Because it's a lot of granite, so they can't go down. Nobody has a basement. Down. Yeah, it's like you have to.
And then one more area that I hope nation states start paying greater attention to is the rise of cryptocurrency, because what looks like a very interesting.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just pressed that button by mistake, and then that was like just breaking.
Dude, my sister gave me so much shit about playing that clip, man. She's like, "Why do you have to get political?"
And then one more area that I hope nation states start paying greater attention to.
This is going out to Sean's sister.
And then one more area that I hope nation states start paying greater attention to is the rise of cryptocurrency, because what looks like a very interesting and somewhat exotic effort to literally mine new coins in order to trade with them has the potential for undermining currencies, for undermining the role of the dollar as the reserve currency, for destabilizing nations, perhaps starting with small ones, but going much larger. So when we think about this new environment in which we find ourselves that we've been discussing for the last some minutes, we can't just think about nation states.
So what she said, though, is a perfect example of why you have to bring politics into when you talk about cryptocurrency. And that's one of the reasons why when we do the news show, I try to bring about things that are dealing with the political system, because that is why Bitcoin was created.
Mm-hmm. I think it's funny
that
she talks about small nation states when literally
it's a setup.
Small nation states stability.
It's a setup because the IMF just right after that, the IMF this week told El Salvador what they did about using Bitcoin.
I think what most people are thinking now too, that she's becoming more known widely as somebody who can't really be trusted. So like the whole reverse psychology thing for me has always been in play. If these people say something is bad, I love it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today too.
Good, I hate it. You know,
I was thinking about that today too when we were reading these stories. I was like, it's like all of the evil people are coming out in unison, like crypto's terrible. We all hate crypto.
Yeah, all the people who
would good PR.
That you know what disrupts. I mean? Yes, exactly. What Hillary Clinton? I said it last week. What she said, because I agree with Hillary Clinton. You know, I do 100% with what she said in that statement.
Mm-hmm.
And what she said was the exact reason I got involved in crypto. So, so
she's basically
it all goes back to politics.
She's admitting that it has the potential to literally take over nation states and take over their finances. She's flat out admitting that this is a possibility.
The most important thing was undermining the central banking system and the U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency.
I mean, they're saying it, right?
Because the U.S. that's the only thing after Rich, to finish off what we said, after Nixon took us off the gold standard, the only thing that we made deals with Saudi Arabia, and that's when the creation of the petrodollar came out. And we were backed by, technically, the petrodollar, the oil. All the oil in the world had to be traded by the U.S. dollar. That was kind of the backing, in a sense, in addition to the faith of the government, which just ends up meaning the guns of the military.
Yeah.
But I just think it's really, we spent a lot of time on it last week. I just wanted to highlight the fact that she is telling the Biden administration that, you need to step up your game when it comes to cryptocurrencies and regulation. And then also mentioning that regulating crypto will help to stop manipulation by Russia and China. Everybody seems to like to use Russia and China when it comes
That's another thing, dude. China is coming out so hard against crypto that it's like all the negative, anything is like, we hate crypto, crypto's bad. It's like you're a communist who likes to commit genocide. Yeah. And we hate crypto. Gotcha.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. It just takes you down. I get what you're saying, dude.
Yeah.
It makes complete sense. Now, but the other thing too is that there are countries that are trying to circumvent situations by not using the U.S. dollar and using cryptocurrencies. So, it's the problem is it's like a business that's starting to lose profit, and when you start to lose profit, you got to do something to regain that profit to keep your shareholders happy, and that's kind of where we're at, And the reason like we had mentioned before, like last week, Hillary Clinton, that's the first time I've known of her to come out and say anything about cryptocurrencies. And it's taken this long. And now we're going to see people to, her stature, equal to her stature, if not greater, now coming out. People who didn't come out. Because if they would have said something about Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in the past, it would have given it relevancy. Now that it's achieved its relevancy, and it's making an impact, not only with these nations like with El Salvador, but also affecting the bond market and what the disruption that it can cause. Now it's kind of like the one of your last moves that you'll do. Like this was like their ace in their pocket. They've been holding all these important people back from saying something about Bitcoin and crypto. And now that Bitcoin is doing what it's doing, now you're going to have Hillary Clinton and all these other people come out and start saying
You
something.
got a super chat there, right?
That is nice and kind. I appreciate that. The banks made crypto and Rothschilds. I didn't know the banks made the Rothschilds. I thought the Rothschilds made the banks. I do appreciate the super chat. And
chicken and the egg, man.
And I would definitely say that when it comes to cryptocurrency, the one thing that people definitely need to understand, please understand this. It doesn't matter if the government created Bitcoin, for example. If it doesn't matter, because the technology has been released, it's open source. You can audit and review the code. If the CIA or the NSA or somebody created Bitcoin and there was something malicious that it could have done, it would have been discovered by now. You can't have all this open source code out and leave out parts of the code. It has to be complete. So the situation when it comes to this technologies, you don't have to trust it because you can verify. That's just the one thing that people need to understand. And then going back to dualities, there's going to be good and bad in everything. I mean, maybe the Bitcoin was created by a bunch of good guys in the government as a way to get away from the central banks and the fiat money system. Because people within the system saw the system falling apart and wanted to have a safety net for the people. So you never know. I would not say that it's completely for control. Ripple effect. I do appreciate the super chat, but I definitely disagree. And hopefully, as I do more conversations about this, you'll start to see my point of view when it comes to this. But open source technology, you can review everything about it. Decentralization, spreading of the nodes, distribution of the network, the security that it offers. I get what you're saying, but I've done a lot of research on this. Sean, do you think that the Bitcoin is bad?
Well, they said that the banks created Bitcoin, and no matter what I think they did, Satoshi did it because of the shit that the banks created and got us into.
Yeah, because
so it's true. No matter how you look at it, what the banks did, that's what made the creation of Bitcoin.
Now I agree with this statement.
Like you said, that's why open source is so important, because that was the beginning. It was trustless. Just trust the code. If it's open source and there's always transparency, that's all you need. You don't have to trust anyone. You can just trust yourself and your research.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to really do when it comes down to it.
I just wanted to throw in too. We were saying the Hillary had said about smaller nation states and stuff like that, how it can throw in disruptions. We're not only talking smaller nation states. We're talking Texas. We're talking Miami. We're talking New York City now. We're talking some of these communities where they're buying land and want to build a crypto community out west. They're buying these big chunks of land.
Wyoming.
I mean, this is now come home. It's not just South America anymore. This is in our backyards now.
And that is also
really
horrifying.
A lot of Bitcoin stuff.
That is horrifying to them. There's
in fact, real quick, the newly voted in mayor of New York City is actually going to accept his pay in Bitcoin.
It's only going to be like the
rivalry.
It's only going to be like the first three paychecks, and he's going to have to go through it.
Yeah, but still,
he has to go through an exchange.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then
the fact that he is setting that up now, that's something that people don't talk about. The fact that for him to get paid, he had to lay the infrastructure to get a city paycheck in crypto.
We talked about this, didn't we, Sean?
It's done.
We did cover that, didn't we?
Yeah, well, we talked about it a little bit because there was that same conversation.
Because Miami's mayor, and then there was Tampa's mayor as well. Because there's 3 mayors that ultimately did it.
Yeah, there's this rivalry now between
smart people.
Between cities now, but
New
it's
York
also
and Miami specifically are trying to be the crypto capital.
That's what everyone's saying. There's all these mayors through other countries They're like, we want to be the crypto city of Sweden.
Yeah.
We want to be the crypto capital. And it's growing into states. You know, Texas wants to be the crypto capital. I'm sure my Florida is going to want to be the crypto capital. But to get back to what TPA was saying, it's really scary to those power elites, because like Texas and other states, there's a growing movement here now in Texas. This is a legitimate. No, we're not early.
No, we're not.
There's a legitimate movement now, and this is becoming a platform that people are starting to run on for secession. It's not like a joke. It's a real thing.
You listen to a lot of people when it comes to like politics that aren't necessarily, I mean, even political channels. Someone like Tone Bays, he even says that he sees he's been thinking about where he wants to move, and he had thought about Texas and Florida, but he's saying now he's not even considering living. He's thinking about not even living in the United States until there's a breakup of the country.
Yeah,
because
and I think
he feels like that's going to take place. It was 7 p.m. Eastern time, Lisa. Sorry, I know that we're on different time zones.
Yeah, I think it. I know it messes me up too, Lisa. But I'm glad you're here, by the way. But it's weird to me to see that this is it's a front running thing. Chad Prather's running, and he is pushing it hard that he will move to secede. And when it comes to the ability to have Bitcoin, to move to that as a reserve currency or even as the main currency for the state, that we don't have to have like Texas dollars, or we don't even have to mess with the US dollars, could literally use crypto.
I know you're going to start seeing, we've already talked about it, the city coins and your local currencies being created again, and so all the talk of
that stuff's been around here in farmers markets and local street fairs and stuff like that for years and years and years. We've had local town bucks where you can buy from the town at a discount or earn or get rebates from the local community and spend that at the local farmers markets and stuff like that. Particularly, so something like that is here, and it has a use, and a lot of people use those things already. Just stepping it up a notch.
I think about a city having a mining farm, and then at the end of the year, anything that the city mined or made is minus from the taxes that you need to pay. I mean, imagine the support
it's like
people would put into that.
It's like electric co-op where you. Some electric companies, you as a member of the co-op, you receive benefits of profit. So you might get like a $200 check at the end of the year. So there's a lot of different ways to and it's really cool when we start, putting all that kind of stuff on a blockchain. But when we're dealing with excess energy and being able to sell that energy and profit off of it and things to those effects.
Yeah, Lisa brought up something which the mainstream media is not covering this, but it's a major thing. Yeah. Which I don't understand why they have this happen, but the National Guard in Oklahoma, they refused to do the stick. So the Pentagon said that they're no longer recognizing them as
that's a good way. That's a good way of getting out of federal jurisdiction as a military unit. I don't know. Dog.
So now the National Guard of Oklahoma is the Oklahoma State Militia because they're not recognized as a national military force, just an Oklahoma militia.
Kind of a big deal.
but then all the courts have said that the mandates are wrong and they're put a hold on them. So I don't know why they're even having to do that, unless it's part of some other plan. But that's a huge thing. That's a massively huge thing. That's no longer recognized as the National Guard.
Yeah, because I mean, all the way that everything was done within a political system after the Civil War, with the creation of federal jurisdictions, is all the militias of each state or National Guard of each state were also recognized under the federal authority, because all the states were technically coming under federal authority. That's why we have that argument of the cannabis argument, where it's federally illegal, but states are making it legal. But because the banking system is federally operated and ran, they can't participate. Those said cannabis companies in the states that legalize it can't utilize the banking system because the federal government, because of technically the federal government's supposed,
Right.
in the modern sense, not in historical sense, not what our founding fathers
right. So we've
fought
been talking
for.
about this, and I've always known that. But then why can't they use credit unions?
I don't know. Why can't they?
Yeah, because we had the big talk about it, and how those are local and state, but they do fall under another insurance program like the FDIC, but it's called something else. But if that's national, I guess that would be the reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think that because in order to tap into the banking system, you have to tap into the federal system. So I think that for even though it's a local bank or a local community kind of, I get what you're saying, but I think it still falls underneath the same federal banking system because there's no other alternative but the federal banking system.
So I wonder then if the feds made crypto illegal, if that would then like trump the stuff that the governor has done here in Texas.
It would, on a federal level, yes, but on a state level, no, because it's the same argument when it comes to the cannabis stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was confused on, because it seems.
But the states were always supposed to govern themselves.
Yeah,
the federal government wasn't supposed to have the authority over the states. The states were their own nation. So
we were supposed to be like the EU.
We were a confederation of nations. We were really like the United
50
Nations.
Countries that came together.
United Nations is really what it is. The United Nations of America.
Yeah.
That would have made so much more sense. But the word state started being interchangeable with the definition of nation.
Nations, yeah.
But that's all like in a lot of the language change, legalese shit that they started to add to stuff. But
like the thing with gay marriage has been around for a long time, man. But it was only in Connecticut and Vermont. But if you came to Texas and you got married in Vermont, it had to be recognized that you were married. So it was always around, but it was because of the states' rights things.
Right. No, it's a crazy situation, man. I mean, that's a big argument that the states are having right now. We're not going to be able to get through all these news articles. So the ones that we didn't get through that I would definitely encourage people to check out in the video description. Talking a little bit more in the political element, there's U.S. regulators are offering crypto oversight clarity. That's something that's been talked about.
That's interesting because it's the banking commission that's doing that.
Right. And then you have the Senate Banking Committee chair seeking information from stablecoin issuers and exchanges.
I want to talk about this. Can we take a minute? Because this is very important. Okay.
And then the Council of the European Union moving forward on 2 crypto proposals. So there's a lot of positive things happening within the cryptocurrency space.
I think this is not positive. I think this is going to be terrible. I think this is going to be an apocalypse of crypto. The stablecoin thing. I think
stablecoin thing, yeah.
It is, because we all know Tether is not 100% on the level. And we all know that
actually, hold on.
Let me get this out.
You say we know, but Tether would never have been added to Coinbase. Those charges that they had in New York State would never have been nothing come out of it. The charges weren't dropped, but they weren't found guilty.
You think that they have that many bazillions of dollars in cash in $1?
No, it's not all dollars. It's not all dollars, and that's also something that people have been questioning because
that has started to come out now. But it was always talked about that it was dollars.
No. They said
we all know they're a little shady.
They said it was asset back, but the problem that people are saying is they could have invested in things like Evergrande.
They changed the wording on that. It said backed by $1 US.
That USDC was always coming out with that.
No. Tether said that, and they changed it.
Right, and when so Tether, when Tether changed it, and they showed a balance sheet that made up the total supply that they had based off the assets that they held. That's when the lawsuits were no longer an issue, and that's when they were added to Coinbase.
I think they're going to take a look at stablecoins. I think they're going to bust out some stablecoins. I think that we have created a monster in Tether, and we have made it the central bank of crypto, They print it up. I think we have screwed ourselves.
Tether can go away, but USDC.
I think we have screwed ourselves. I think we have hurt crypto by allowing it to happen, and I think that it will fall. I think that it will be looked at. It will be looked at under a microscope. It will be blown up with FUD. There will be things that are wrong. I think it will cause a big collapse, and I think we're going to have to come back from it. But I think it's good because I don't think we should have allowed it to happen.
Well, I mean, dude, this is the private sector, and then you have then you're talking about the argument that on the flip side, the government's going to come out with their own CBDC, and that's going to be fucking fine. So it's like the big issue with stablecoins right now isn't necessarily the fact that there's isn't like the backing thing. Now you may see a couple projects falling to the wayside that don't match up with what they have as far as the transparency being backed one by one. But something like USDC that was started by Circle, that's a JP Morgan company that Coinbase partnered up with, that's going to have success. That's not going to go away.
Yeah, I know.
It's one for one, and it's very transparent. But your Tether, that could be that could potentially be. But the big issue here is not the fact of the technology. The big issue is the fact of like your platforms and your exchanges that are offering these insane APYs, this insane interest, like 8, 9, 14%, when the banks don't even offer but like 0.05%.
Yeah.
So and then the bond market, what the bond market's doing. So now your companies like Celsius, even Gemini with what they're offering and like BlockFi, these companies offering these high interest rates, the APYs with staking your cryptos, your stable coins or whatever, are affecting the bond market. Cryptocurrency is starting to do what it was created for.
Yeah.
And now the governments and every part of the system that is going to be taking down the legacy system, including the banking part of it, which the Senate Banking Committee, they're all going to get involved.
Yeah, we've went through the
but we're also dealing with economic turmoil, the possible crash of the US dollar, the possible crash of the entire financial system. And then what?
Hankowitz in the chat has it right, man. Tether's going to burn, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt us. It's going to hurt the whole industry because we've built shit on it, and we shouldn't have. We created a central bank
on Tether.
What?
We haven't built nothing on Tether. Tether's built on everything
Every fucking exchange, 90% of their pairs are to Tether. We have built everything on Tether. Every exchange, everything is built on Tether. When that goes away, it's going to crash everything.
Now, do you suspect?
Go try to buy BNB on KuCoin.
Do you suspect the American government is just going to take value out of, like, if they just were to like just say USDT is done and there's no value in it, and everybody who has USDT just lost all their freaking money? That's not going to go. That's not going to fly over. They're already bailing out everybody else. So I don't know. What do you think, Jason?
I'm thinking these. Well, we have the Senate Banking Committee coming in now. We've had China throwing up their arms about it, saying they're, telling the world about their bad relationship with cryptos for all this time. How they're on again, they're off again, they're on again, they're off again. Could this just be FUD? I mean, I really don't know that much about the bad side of Tether. It's not one I really used that much at all. Is this going to be the next XRP where they're going to make a big deal out of it? They're going to put it through a trial. It's going to come out of the trial. Everyone's going to say,
no, this would be.
It's okay
I mean,
now.
if Tether gets, so the question has been for a while, up until like last year, maybe 2019 ish, but I think more of last year, was Tether backed one for one?
That was
I thought it was like more.
Sean, you were right. It was originally supposed to be
$1
1-to-1. I remember that back a while back.
And
but then they started showing
all their papers, and they changed it.
Then they started showing that they were asset backed. It had partial US dollars. It had partial other fiat currencies from other nations. It had investments, like stock investments and portfolios, like all put together to make up the totality of what. And yeah, Blind Dave was saying
that was because they were being called out.
This was something that was in question. This was something that was in question. How many assets did they have held by Tether was associated with Evergrande?
Yeah.
So did they take any of their money and their investments, were they investing in some of these Chinese real estate companies that have defaulted? Because if they did,
it's literally run by
then
the Tether Mafia.
Mhm.
That's who they're called. We have made ourselves this Achilles heel.
Bitfinex,
and we
Tether,
screwed ourselves on this.
right? But you've seen what's happened with everything as far as I heard a rumor some Bitcoins have 10 Bitcoin and what?
I think he's talking about the Bitcoin coins or the physical coins, the old ones that put 10 on
if they
them.
did, I mean, that would be something that you could buy them or you could add Bitcoin to them. But yeah, you could have some of those coins, but they would have a QR.
You know what? I want to get back to what you said. It was about a year or so ago. There was people selling those Bitcoins for like $6,000 on Craigslist.
Yeah,
because people didn't know. They're like selling Bitcoins. They go meet you in the Walmart parking lot, and they would sell those physical Bitcoins.
Yeah, well, this is actually the silver one that you got me, I think, for Christmas last year. So this is actually real silver.
Does that have the QR on the other side?
No, it doesn't. That's not.
No, it just looks nice.
Yeah, that's just.
It's just for looking.
It's so pretty. Hold on a second. I have one of those with the QR code. Hold on.
Yeah, and
then you get my phone so I can scan it.
You can peel off the QR scan. You can peel that off. Let me see if I can pull it. I had a.
This is it. This is you can.
Which one is that? What's it called?
This is one of these.
Oh, you can scan that.
Yeah.
The metal code.
That's cool.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, you can scan that on there. This also is an ounce of silver too, which is really cool. Looks like that on the front, just regular this. It's called the Bitcoin value conversion. You could take that and you could, like I said, scan that QR.
That's pretty neat.
And it gives you the value.
You remember Ballet Wallet?
Mm-hmm. You gave me one of those a while back.
Yeah, the Ballet has it set up where you can.
And that's a Bobby Lee, right?
Yeah. And when I interviewed him, he gave me his Ballet card information so I could look at the balance, but I can't do anything with it because I don't have his private key information. And I was trying to see if I could pull this up.
Got to crack that bad boy somehow. What's he got in there? Oh, that's hysterical.
It's $153,820. It's got 37.68 Ethereum. It's got 0.1 USDT and then like 0.00001 Tron. But it's Bobby's, and I've got like his whole card. I just can't do anything with it because I don't have the card to be able to get the private information. But that's how secure that his stuff is. That he was able to give me his stuff, and it was like, good luck trying to get into it.
So even if you get everything, unless you have that physical device, that physical,
I think you'd have to get the physical card from him to be able to do it.
That's crazy. That's pretty.
That's pretty wild. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it.
Lisa wants to know if you remember the picture of Brock Pierce with the scarf.
Which scarf?
Yes. Yeah, he just put out a picture not that long ago, just a weird.
He's always wearing scarves.
Twitter post or something. Yeah, but now he's got a post in the ground with a scarf wrapped around the top and his two shoes on the bottom of it, which is reminded me immediately of what the military used to do when somebody would pass on out in their troop. They would literally take their helmet, put the helmet on top. They would put their M16 in the ground and put the boots on either side of it. So that was a sign that they were gone. I think maybe that's what she was doing.
Where is that on Twitter?
I forget. I don't remember where I saw it. Lisa sent it to me.
I'm going to get Brock Pierce to make a donation to our pack, Sean.
Yeah,
we'll try to get some of his dirty money.
He's in the Tether Mafia,
He's very, very wealthy.
He's part of the Tether Mafia, dude.
He's extremely wealthy.
He's always on the up and up.
And
he was in the what was the movie he was in? The Sandbox or something, right?
No, it was the Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks, and he was the first kid with American hero Sinbad.
Sinbad. That was where he was playing the son of a president.
Yeah, his president. The first kid, so his president.
Yeah, and then he ran for president. We talked about that in his. So the interview that I did with him, I think TPA seen it. I don't know if you've seen the first interview I did with him, Sean, but it was like 40 minutes into the interview. He says, "You have successfully asked me every bad question that somebody can ask me." I'm like,
I watched that one you did.
I was like, I kind of had to. So because he was going to be running for president, so he was opening himself up, and I wanted to interview him, and I wanted to be able to ask questions.
Hankowitz knows Brock is big part of the Tether Mafia.
Roger Ver is a nice part of it.
Buterin is.
He's on a very low end side of it, but he's a part. He was one of the early investors and all that shit.
Yeah, he's the president's son who got kidnapped, but super American hero Sinbad had given him a necklace.
Why are you calling him a super American hero?
You know why? He is the hero of everything, dude. Sinbad is the biggest hero of the country.
One of the worst actors in the world. I'm not sure how he
broke
and
everything.
His comedy was not that good.
The comedy
Sinbad was Shazam. So that whole Mandela effect thing was
that was Shaquille O'Neal.
No, Shaq was who was there was
Shazam.
Shaq was Steel, the Black Superman thing.
Also Steel. Yes, he was also Steel. Yeah. Wonderful.
Which one was he? I just saw that one. He was Shazam or the other one at the Sinbad. Sorry, he was Sinbad.
Who was Sinbad?
I gotta get Richard Hart. I gotta do something.
Look, man, I'm gonna tell you why he's a damn hero. He's a damn hero. He's an American hero. He is the first person in the United States to break. He started everything. He started that letter of the alphabet. He started every movement that is now. He did it. He was the one who called out Hillary Clinton for lying about going to the running from snipers when they got to the runway. He was the one that broke the story. He's the one that called her a liar because he was there with her.
Sinbad
is the one who started.
Are you all. Like? Do you run the Sinbad Texas fan club or something?
Dude, I swear to God, he did, man. He's the one that came out and said there wasn't no snipers. That one was lying, and that she said,
"I'm an island boy."
I misspoke.
So has he been Arkansided yet?
Oh, no, but his career died.
Yeah,
because I mean, but that started it all. That started questioning her.
I thought his career died way before that, because even that movie, First Kid. Yeah, that wasn't like that was like a B movie. That wasn't like a major.
It's better than the movies you were in.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
There's some old VHS tapes of me floating around that might, be interesting.
All right, we went OT. Did you have anything else you want to add to those political things, or you good?
Hankowitz, you got to stop, because people are going to think that it's me typing this stuff.
I mean, Hankowitz is part of the fucking fan club you run, right?
Dude, Sinbad is a great American, man. He's the first one to ever call out any elites.
We should we should carve out his fucking head on Mount Rushmore.
Well, besides George Carlin, right?
Yeah, that's George Carlin, man. When I was a kid, I was like, this dude is a complainy, whiny motherfucker.
He's out of his mind.
And now I watch it and I was like, oh my God. He was just, I didn't get it. I was like 10, he would tell like a funny poop joke and I was like, ha ha ha. Oh God. Oh yeah, the government's terrible. Whatever, man.
He was another one. Once he started that, his career went straight downhill, and then he got cancer and died right away.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Gonna wrap up. TPA, I appreciate you joining, especially on such short notice. You got something you want to add? Some final thoughts for today, or?
No, I just I'm gonna go back to my old thing: is whatever they're saying, whatever that team is saying, whatever Hillary's saying, whatever the Minister of Finance is saying, I don't believe a word of it. Just like with the current situations going on these days, they tell you something's good for you. I don't believe it. So I'm just going to keep going with my contrarian views as far as this whole the whole cryptoverse is going these days, and watch what's happening more so than watch what's being said, because it's all over the world. You go to China, they have their love-hate relationship. They have a bad boyfriend-girlfriend relationship where they're always breaking up with cryptos and then joining back together and then breaking up. So I'm just going to stick with my gut on it, and I'm going to, follow the news and, choose your information, choose my information carefully.
And trust Sinbad.
I don't
always trust Sinbad. You can trust Sinbad.
I can trust Sinbad.
He's there for you, man.
You gonna start the search for Sinbad?
He was in Jingle All the Way, man.
He knows his whole biography.
One of the best Christmas movies there is.
He's googling all these
Arnold
B
Schwarzenegger.
Like
Sinbad.
you don't run that fan club, dude.
Jingle All the Way. That movie is amazing.
Well, normally I boot our guests out and then end it with me and Sean, but we're not going to do that today because we are running an OT and I got to bounce.
We're not? You don't want to do that there's only two?
Nope, this is going to be the first time for everything, I guess.
Shit, I feel so special, boys.
You get to be special.
I am
so make
special.
sure you guys are going over to Satoshi Sean's channel and subscribing, helping get him over that 20K mark. He's less than 100 subscribers away from 20K. So go subscribe. Links are down below. Anything you want to add, Sean?
No, appreciate it. I'm going to do a giveaway probably tonight, giving away NFT and crypto. I'm going to give away NFTs now, I think, every week. Started building them on Wax. They're so much easier and cheaper to build there. So,
yeah, I need to do some.
Yeah.
I need to get a verified account. So I just like those alphabets and a dot.
Well, his name is Sinbad because he can't. He's such a good guy.
Make a Sinbad NFT, please.
I'm gonna do that.
I want one of one. Come on.
I will make
Hook a guy up.
I will make a Sinbad NFT today. Well, this weekend. I'm really busy.
You're really busy?
Yeah, super busy. I have 14 videos to do.
Really?
I thought he was going to say it 14
Yeah.
kids from him. I was going to be like,
Wow.
Yeah.
They
That's
basically
crazy.
are your kids when you're working on them as much as you guys are. That's for sure.
I'll holler at you, man. I got to get ready to bounce, guys. I really appreciate you guys joining. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to both Rice TVX and Rice TVX2. And make sure you're subscribed over on Satoshi Sean's channel. Let's get him over 20,000 subscribers. Smash that like button. It helps other people to be able to find this information in the YouTube algorithm flow. Yeah, boy.